I really confused Nick because I asked him to move the Zoom to this side.
It's very hard, ladies and
So
gentlemen.
the mouse, the laptop is on the opposite side of the screen, but we're actually looking at you this
For
week.
anybody that's OCD, and things are supposed to be in a certain spot,
I'm making
I'm
him
freaking out.
I'm making him comfortable in the uncomfortable. That's exactly what I'm doing to him right now, but it's on a live experience.
Exactly. I just need to move that over because I need to see there.
Yeah, that's totally fine.
222, and we're live on YouTube, on Instagram,
Hopefully you're
Facebook.
having a wonderful weekend. Happy Thanksgiving, and also
Happy Hanukkah!
as well.
And early Christmas for us.
Definitely.
We'll talk about that
So
tonight
we'll
a
talk
little
about
bit.
that, but I cannot believe it is already November 20. What are we today?
I don't know,
Are we
28th?
the 28th?
Yeah, we are the 28th today,
28th today.
which
like
is insane.
December 1st is like on Wednesday.
Exactly. I can't believe it's already here. And we have guests tonight.
We do. I'm Jean-Luc, by the
I'm
way.
Nick.
And welcome to the show.
We're the Wellness Warriors.
And
You're watching us live in Toronto.
exactly.
And we have a lot of people here on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Zoom, and YouTube. Streaming live every Sunday at 7.
And we're so excited to have past guests that have been with
Yes!
us throughout this year. We have our wonderful Ashley and Kevin. We have our beautiful walking queen, Carol, and our amazing and birthday girl, Arlene. Even before anything, I would like to sing her happy birthday.
Of course.
I think I'd like, if you guys don't mind, Arlene asked me, she sent me a little message earlier going, Jean-Luc, if you sing me happy birthday, I'll be really happy. And
on Facebook, if you're having issues seeing us tonight, please log on to YouTube or Zoom. Facebook has been very spotty. We're just
Yes.
warning you now,
so I
okay?
apologize about everyone watching on
Yes.
Facebook. So here we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Arlene. Happy birthday to you. Bun fight. Happy
Yep.
birthday, Arlene. You're
Fill
so
me
welcome.
up.
You're so welcome. I saw the message earlier and I was like, I'm not going to reply because I want it to be a surprise.
Surprise.
Just warning you, my iPad is a bit frozen, so I can only see you, you guys, and Ashley and Kevin. Sorry, Carol, I can't see you.
Technology, right? That's okay. We'll just have, as long as we can
As
still
long as-
chat,
yeah.
and we'll make it work with whatever happens this evening. So I think the first thing I want to talk about is the word of the week.
Yes.
The word of the week is loss or lost or losing. Anything with lost in it. So, take a sip if that word comes about tonight. Our water drinking game every week. And so we're talking
And
about
of course, corn.
and corn.
Corn
Corn is always a standing word.
Word
There's-
no matter what.
no
It'll
matter
never
what.
Go away.
It'll never go.
We see it and we're like, oh, we need to take a drink of water.
Yeah, it's like an instant. Like there's corn. We have corn.
No, that we put them away for Christmas.
Oh yeah, so put away. So I'm not drinking as much water right
No,
now. That's
exactly.
the problem. So hi everybody. So let's start by going around and just seeing how everybody's been doing. So we had our Have You Met series this year. We've the last 3 weeks had guests of our interviewees we've had throughout the year. This is the final week of guests from this year, and so we wanted to bring back everybody again to see how you're doing. How are things going? So I think I'll just randomly pick someone. I think we'll go to Ashley and Kevin first. Let's see, how are you, both of you, doing? How's the journey gone since we met you last? Any great things that happened? Fill us in.
You go first.
I always continue to work on making this sustainable and enjoyable and avoiding stress, taking the stress out of it, taking the negative self-talk out of it. Always feeling like I'm in control. I feel like I'm at a place where I feel like I'm always in control. I'm never out of control. Going on vacation or traveling at all was always an excuse to be out of control. And this summer I was in Nova Scotia playing music twice, and to be able to go there, and I was using the phrase pounding positivity into my head every moment, focusing on everything positive. The people I was seeing, I met WW people that we had met on Zoom, and just focusing on all the positives, like making the good food choices are fairly easy for me now, because I really work on changing what my favorite foods are based on how they make me feel. So I easily cut out deep fried foods. I still enjoy alcohol, especially, traveling and playing music. And
Well, you're in the environment, so I guess it goes with the territory. But you know what? What I love what you just said there, Kevin, is the fact that you said, I'm not going to forgo alcohol, but I know I can make choices with the food I make to compensate for that. And that's what this is all about.
yeah, and even with the alcohol, like, I've cut back quite a bit, and I think it's just cutting out the stress and cutting out the beating myself up. So if I have a night of drinking, I don't beat myself up for it anymore. And and working on staying and doing things in control and in moderation. The drinking is in control and in moderation. I still enjoy it. I don't have to deprive myself and cut it out. But it was an amazing feeling to go and enjoy my trip, every moment of it. There was about 20 minutes there where I was thinking about the weight that I'm going to gain on the trip, because that's how I would always
Yep.
be on the other trips, knowing I'm going to gain weight and try and tell myself that's okay, but beat myself up for it at the same time.
Yeah.
So now this time there was about 20 minutes where I was thinking about the scale, and I was driving through PEI, and I contacted my accountability buddy, Sergio, and we talked it through, and within 20 minutes I was back on track. And, on that trip I gained 8 pounds in 16 days, and was fine with that. It didn't feel like I was off track or out of control. And within 3 weeks I was down 9, and that blew me away, because I was like, any other vacation, I come back discouraged, beating myself up, and take a break or quit.
Yeah.
So the fact that I realized I could take that weight off really quickly, I find sometimes the quicker it goes on, the quicker it comes off, and I don't worry about it.
I love that you said that too, because it's so true. There's a lot of times where we think that way too, because there's times when you weigh yourself and that weight is because you just ate the night before, or you just did something the night before. You're not allowing yourself to think, oh, well, I have the entire week, and that weight is not an actual an accurate weight sometimes the very next day, or whenever you weigh in the next time, because your body's going to adjust accordingly from everything else you do after you've made that indulgence or that unplanned thing. So
Yep. So I went back to the East Coast about 6 weeks after, for 14 days, and did the same thing. I felt a little more empowered the second time, because I knew I handled it the first time. The second time I was only up 2 pounds, and I lost that within the next week. And I just feel like I'm in a place where I can just handle anything. Like there's no struggle, there's no negative self-talk, there's no and like I said, when I started at the beginning of this, was I have to make this sustainable and enjoyable, and that's where I think I'm at. And I'll be honest, in the last year, I'm up 8 pounds overall, and there's more progress in the last year than any other time in my journey. So
that's awesome.
I have taken the pressure off the scale, and I'm able to focus on. There's so much other progress happening. At a certain point, I do have to lose the weight, but there's no rush. It's just one step at a time, and I feel confident in everything that I'm doing, and it's just very empowering.
I say this often, that weight loss does not only have to do with physical weight.
Yeah.
There's a lot of other weight that we carry that we need to lose before we can even think about losing the physical.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's what you just basically said right there, Kevin, is that you're gaining so much power and empowerment, and losing that negativity to gain the positivity.
Well,
which will help
we're
you
in that
the
case.
yeah,
We're in
definitely.
that same kind of boat right now. We talked about it a bit with our postings and our weigh-ins. We're not getting mad at ourselves right now for enjoying life.
Nope.
We're doing things. We're seeing a lot more people recently. If someone comes over to visit us and I say, "Oh, sorry, you bought a cake. I'm not gonna have a piece." No, I want to live life, but I'm not gonna beat myself up for having that piece of cake. I'm gonna move on the next day and do the best I can the next day. Yes, I'm up overall as well. I am. And but that's okay. You know where I would be if I wasn't trying my best right now? I'd probably be 30 pounds up from where I am, because that's what I used to do all the time. September would hit, I'd start gaining weight slowly. Then by October, like, oh, screw this. I might as well start in January. Then I'd spend the next 3 months eating whatever we wanted, gain 30 pounds, and then start all the way back at 40 in January. This year, yeah, I'm up, but I'm not getting mad at myself. I'm doing my best. I'm not up 40 like I used to be. And that's the difference. That's the lessons you learn when you start doing this a long time.
Two things I just want to finish off with.
Yeah.
I always thought that I will love myself when I lose 100 pounds. And then I realized, wow, I may never lose this 100 pounds. At a certain point when I've been doing this 2.5, 3 years.
3 years.
I'm down 42 pounds. So if I'm waiting to lose 100 pounds before I'm going to love myself, then this is going to be a long, hard road. So we work on it together, and she's going to touch on it more, but we have to love ourselves now and enjoy this now. Otherwise, I'm never going to get there. And then the other thing, one of the other biggest things that I've realized is anytime that I've quit, it was the beating myself up and the negative self-talk that killed me, not the food.
Nope.
Not that thing that I put in my mouth. It was the negative self-talk.
Yep.
So
and that's what also Rosie touched on her blog this week about that, about loving yourself, when like loving yourself now. You can't wait. Like you have to love yourself now, then, and in the future. It has to be all the time. Otherwise, you're not who you're doing this for.
And I honestly will even go back as saying loving who you used to be as you transform into the new you.
Yeah.
Saying I didn't know any better before, but I still loved myself. But now I love myself more because I'm taking care of myself more.
Yeah.
I'm making myself number one because nobody else should be making us number one but ourselves.
Yeah.
We need to make ourselves number one.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Kevin. That's awesome. And I can't wait to go see you sing live one day. I'm telling you, I promise
happen.
We will be there. We will be there.
Well, yes, it's going to happen. Hi, Ashley.
Hi.
How are you? How are you doing? How are things? We saw each other in person.
We met live.
You're real. You exist.
I don't know. I think Kevin's still just a figment of our imagination.
He's not really beside you. He's just like a
hologram. He's a
hologram beside you, right?
Yeah. So for me, I got out of my own damn way and I started showing up for myself, and I did a lot of therapy to get into the self-love and to drop the expectations of my mother, is what I'll say, of never feeling good enough or feeling like, because I was always the overweight, like I've got 3 sisters, so I was always the overweight sister and I felt like the failure and whatever. So anyways, I had to drop all of that, and we're never taught to like love ourselves, and I got caught up in comparison. So anyways, I've done a lot of soul work, and I've taken myself off of social media, so I'm more in the present, I'm more in nature. I've lost a total of 74.5 inches since I've started. I stopped weighing myself in February, so my gift to myself will be to weigh myself February 14th, because that's Love Day.
Awesome.
Whatever it says is, whatever. But no, I show up for myself. I've gotten more involved on Connect and just trying to teach people to love themselves. I've started the Self-Love Army, and just little challenges that are like super easy, but I started with like positive affirmations on my mirror. Even writing them for Kev. I put them all over our gym. I put them above our bed. Like, I love myself. And
you should love yourself because you're amazing. And that's that. And I love that. I think a lot of people think, and Jean-Luc said it earlier, we think that weight loss transformation is only about this number. We all think that this is all about that number, but really this whole journey is the discovery of loving yourself. And realizing that for the first time, you have to take care of yourself, because if you're not there, you can't help everybody else. And I love what you were saying about your comparisons, how you realize that, comparing yourself to others. That's again, another thing that destroys us. The comparison is cancer. If you just learn to love yourself and realize that what you're doing every day is better than the previous day, and that's how you compare to your own self, that's how you should compare. You can't look at me and see as somebody else who's a pianist and be like, oh, I'll go try playing piano and be able to play as much as well as I can't. That person is a pro at being a pianist. Maybe someone is just a pro at keeping the weight off or keeping the way they look like this all the time. That's their skill. And so it doesn't mean make you a lesser person. You have skills elsewhere that they would envy that you don't have. So instead of comparing yourself, just enjoy the skills you have, celebrate them, and celebrate everybody's uniqueness, because that's what makes us just who we are and how amazing we all are together.
And the fact that we can make this journey about being our best
Friends.
selves,
Yeah,
right?
best
Being
selves,
our
yeah.
best selves. That doesn't mean you have to be at a specific weight. That doesn't mean you have to be thin. That doesn't mean anything. It means you need to be happy within yourself in order to keep going and wanting to keep going.
Yep.
Yeah.
I love it.
That's kind of what I've done in a nutshell. I've I've done more things to express myself and not just kind of fit in a box, which has been really fun to sort of just be myself.
What's this army you talked about? Like how do people get indoctrinated into this like loving yourself army? Apparently,
it's on Connect, Canada Connect. I'm sure if you search self-love army with a hashtag or SLA, the post will pop up, and then I can just add you to the tags. But every week I just do a little talk, a little chat, like a life chat, and then a little challenge. Nothing hard. Nothing hard. Life is already stressful.
I love that. And I love that. And I think what happens is don't say they're little challenges, because nothing is a little challenge. Someone's little challenge for one person can be a huge Mount Everest for somebody else. So I think what you're doing is absolutely phenomenal, Ashley, because it's making people realize their potential by just that first step of loving who we are.
Yeah.
I that's awesome. That is so cool. I love that you started that. I think that's fantastic.
And I love this positivity. Like that's what we
positivity creates more positivity,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
The more positive you are, the more positive things happen.
It doesn't mean that negative things don't cross our brain. They happen. We think of the worst situation sometimes. Oh, what if this happens? And what if Keiko jumps over the railing and he falls down the well? No!
But then we're like, oh yeah, what are the odds that I leave the door open?
That's the
You
thing.
know what I mean?
Like you can think of the worst situation. They have to be part of your psyche, but you can't let them run your life. You have to also look at the opposite side of the coin, because sometimes the positive happens. But the thing is, in life, we don't remember the positives as much as the negatives. We remember that one time I went somewhere and this bad thing happened to me. But how many times did I go
this weekend?
How many times did I go to a restaurant and had amazing service? Do you remember all those moments? No. You remember the one or two times we had horrible service. You can talk about it 20 minutes. To tell a story about it, and wag your finger, and you know what I mean?
I could probably tell you a few bad restaurant stories, but look at me this weekend. We were walking in Sudbury. I fell and broke my wrist years ago. I haven't gone walking in Sudbury. I went back and I walked in Sudbury in the snow. I was petrified. I was scared. All I could think of was, I'm going to fall. I'm going to fall. And I had to like put my big boy underwear on and say, okay, you know what? I'm not going to fall, but I'm going to be more careful. I'm going to be more careful. I'm going to make smarter decisions and smarter choices. I got away from the sidewalk. I walked in the big piles of snow because I knew I wasn't going to slip on ice. But that's the whole mentality of, you know what? Sometimes going down the road, you have to go down the road no matter what. You just have to sometimes make your path through it, travel.
Meander.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And
Love having
to keep like a gratitude journal. Because that will help you see the good and focus on the good, because everything's energy. And I talked about that on Connect. Like, we're half negative, half positive. But now I'm my better half of positive, and I'm not perfect. I'm not. I have down days for sure. But
of course.
It's focusing on where I want to put my energy. And I find like it's affecting my work, my weight loss journey, how I feel, how happy I am. Like, it's just, if I can.
It's the cheapest medication. It's the cheapest medication.
Yeah.
We're like a rechargeable battery that we need to recharge and keep recharged. When we start seeing our levels going down, that green light going down, we need to be around the people to recharge our battery.
And another reason why that's important, sometimes you don't get the praise from others that you would love to get. And so if you can learn to praise yourself and tell yourself how great you are, that will lead you so much further than waiting for someone else's validation. Because you know what? That person you're waiting validation validation from is also waiting for someone to validate them. And then it's a circle of all of us waiting for someone to validate us. But instead, if we just praise what we do well.
But isn't it an oxymoron that we are the worst people to accept praise from other people as well, though? When people actually say, wow, you're so good at doing that, we're like, oh no, it was nothing. It was nothing. But yet we want the praise and we want the recognition. And when people give it to us, we can't accept it. And then we can't give it to ourselves because then we're conceited. Yeah. So it's that line of doesn't matter. As long as you're doing it for you, that's what's important.
Yep. Thank you so much again.
Thank you so much,
we'll be back because we have questions for everybody. Like as a group, we'll have chats tonight. So we'll go to Carol next to see what she's been up to. How we saw you recently, live in person. You were a guest here. You know where we're standing. So yes, if I went to the bathroom, Carol knows exactly where I'm walking.
I know. I had a shower in the bathroom.
That sounds really weird.
She did step class. She was a tester for volume 4.
Yes. No, it was wonderful being there. I know Keiko's loves my runners. So I know what they're like, and they're so cute and fun. And I was so honored, and we had such a nice time, and the night just fell away from us because we were just talking, and you just, it's just it's pretty special.
In person too. Sorry. We talk all the time.
It feels like forever since we did the Have You Met, because we recorded it last February.
And that's why we talked about it last week. Our Have You Met's next year are no longer going to be the same way. We're actually going to have people come in just on one show. We'll have their story, and then you'll be able to ask them questions the same hour, so it's not going to be as disjointed, and it'll be more current. We can actually talk about the topics that are happening when you're actually here. So it's a criticism that we both agreed upon this year that we needed to change for next year.
But a lot has changed. I mean, I reached lifetime and goal back in the spring, and I was maintaining it really well. And then, things happen, life happens. My best friend passed away in June, and I took a little downward slope, tracking wise, weight wise. Grief hit me pretty hard, but I'm getting back. November was really my start. And the new program came at the perfect time for me personally, because it was a time that I needed a reset. But I posted recently, I posted a post that said, I'm not crushing it, not even close, but I'm here and I'm showing up. And that's what I keep telling myself. I'm not crushing it. I've gained, weight that I wish I hadn't, but I know, like Kevin said, I know where I am. I know where I would be had I not been here or if I'd quit. And like you had said too, Nick, if I'd quit, I would have been way worse off than, the manageable weight gain that I've gained throughout the last few months. And the taking compliments that you just talked about, I focus on, I've tried not to, but I was focusing on the amount I'd gained. And then once lockdown was over and, people were socializing throughout the summer, and I had seen relatives that I hadn't seen in so long, and they just noticed the almost 100 pounds that I'd lost. And I'm focusing more on the little amount that I gained. And it's wow, yeah, maybe I shouldn't maybe I should cheer myself on instead of.
And Carol, you're touching on something that we've talked about recently. It's that you have to realize you're doing this forever.
Yeah.
And so life is not linear. Things will happen to derail you. You have to realize that will happen. It's not just life events, even WW changes. Things will change. So if you prepare yourself with your mindset that each time a change comes, I will tackle it and find a way through it, it's a lot better than going, oh my God, I can't accept change. I can't do this. I can't. You have to be able to adapt yourself on any situation. And what you're talking right now, it's life. You had a devastating loss. And that's not something easy to go through. For anybody who's experienced loss, I think all of us on this show tonight have lost someone at some point. If you've experienced it, it's not easy to get through. And as humans, we want comfort, and food is comfort. And that's okay. You can't get mad at yourself to go through something, and you have to take the time to grieve. You can't just jump back on and think everything's going to be hunky-dory, because then you'll have another, something will relapse at some point. You'll go right down that spiral again. You have to grieve. And if that means eating, that's fine. But what you have to remember while you're doing that is, you're still doing better choices than you were ever doing before. You're still trying to do your best every single day. You're not at 100% right now. You might be at 20. But that's still better than 0. And I think once we start accepting out of ourselves and stop being so obsessed about that number, that goal weight number that we're also obsessed about, and we just start accepting that, look, I lost 100 pounds. I look amazing in my family. Why can't I be just as happy with myself as they are about me?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And to touch on the community, I mean, now that we're able to go out more, like Friday and Saturday night, Kevin was playing close by to my house, so I was able to go see him 2 nights in a row. And last night I met Anita's husband. So I'm meeting all these new people that are just, I was chatting with her husband, never met him before in my life. And we were like, he went to university in Winnipeg. I grew up in Winnipeg, so we could talk, and it's just been so nice. And my dad has been struggling. He's struggled with weight for a long time, but through COVID, he's had to, he was supposed to have a hip replacement prior to COVID, and then that all got changed. And so he's just been scheduled for February to have his surgery. And, I was able to reach out to Wendy in Montreal, who went through hip replacement surgery, and ask her questions to ask the surgeon. And so now we have this community that just like, we can call on for support and encouragement. And so the community alone is just, there's no price tag on that.
Yeah. So it's one of the most important things. It's one of the most important things that you have at our disposal. That's the reason why we've built up the group so much. That's why we want to have like all of you share and help each other, because I find that that's when people succeed, is then you have that one person answer your post. It's sometimes one of the most important things to get.
This is a message that we just sent in chat that I'd love to read. I'm not going to say who said it, but it was a private message sent to us. And it was, grief is something you can't walk around. You have to walk through it one step at a time. And every day is going to be a challenge, but you do walk, when you walk through it, that's when you experience it, you face it, and you are able to continue. And I think that's so important to know that, we have to continue no matter what. We always continue, because there's more out there for all of us.
Absolutely. So that's me in a nutshell.
You in a nutshell.
I love that,
Thanks,
Carol.
Carol.
And again, I love having everyone come back like this the last few weeks, because we've had a few people who said, I'm doing great, I've gained weight, I'm no longer a goal. And it's I love hearing these stories, because that's what most of us don't hear. We see the pictures, I succeeded, here's my before and after, I do woohoo, and then it's like, where do they go? Oh, there's another transformation, they succeeded too, and then we forget about the person we saw before, because we see all these other transformations. But sometimes discussing what's happening in all our lives paints a better picture. You don't expect your perfection from yourself as much, because all of us are struggling. All of us have gained weight. We're both above weight.
I don't even want to call it struggling.
No, and I think struggling.
I think need to remove the word struggling. You know what we're all doing? We're living.
We're living.
That's what we are doing. Life has its ups and downs. Let's get rid of that whole struggle concept, and let's talk about living the life that is being brought in front of us as we go through it, and every single day. We are going to have some good times. We are going to have some bad times.
That's okay.
And that's what it's all about. I hate to say it. Sounds like I'm going to sing the Hokey Pokey soon, but like, honestly, that's what it feels like. That's what it's all about. All we do is grow. All we do is grow. We grow from every single experience that is thrown at us. We grow. We become different. We become new, we become reborn in a sense, because we're always learning. We are creatures of learning.
And Heather Pike said in chat, now Carol's honesty is another example of real life. This is what makes this group so special, so real to show life as it really is. And that's why we do what we do. It's part of the showing everybody that that's what life is about. It's not just straight cut. There's always going to be not struggles, obstacles, or life paths or life events.
Events. I prefer events.
Events will happen, and things
because an event could be a good event, and an event could be a sad event.
Yeah,
An event could be a challenging event.
It's neutral.
Yeah.
It's a neutral thing. So use the words. Yeah, it's like you're always saying, use the right words.
Use the right words.
Thanks
Thank
so
you
much, Carol.
Carol.
And now it's birthday girl's time.
Birthday girl.
Hi, Arlene.
Hi. Again, I apologize. Sorry, Carol. Sorry, I'm not going to go there. I'll look at it after. I have to just go with what I've written down. Otherwise, I'm going to get a little emotional tonight. Today's been a good day. Today's been a wonderful day because I chose for it to be wonderful. I woke up today and said, I'm alive. And in Hebrew, we say, Nes Gadol Hayasham, or Po, which means a great miracle happened here. And it's on the dreidel, the initials, the acronym. And we are born and we wake up is a miracle. As Kieran says, 150,000 people every day don't wake up. So I wake up, I journal. The last 11 weeks has been all about my mindset. It's been about some grief and grief. I'm listening to a book on Audible right now. It's called The Book of Joy by the Dalai Lama and Desmond Tutu. And grief means we have loved deeply. We have loved deeply. And so what I've realized over these last 11 weeks is that it's okay to have all kinds of emotions at the same time. I can be happy and joyful this morning, and then this afternoon, I can be sad and reminiscing, and it's okay. It's okay. I've had a wonderful day today. A friend is up from Delaware, an old high school friend. We went to Starbucks. I had a chocolate croissant that was decadently good. And
Well, not for me, it
I
was for you.
loved it. I FaceTimed with my great nephew. I had a wonderful FaceTime with a dear friend this afternoon before the football game. And I woke up today and said, what vibe do I want to send out to the universe? Because yesterday was not a good day for me. And for those of you that know me, I have a chronic back. I've had injured my ankle 11 weeks ago today. And I haven't been able to exercise. And a big part of my journey, a big part of showing up for myself every day was my exercise. It was a non-negotiable for me. And I lost that the last 11 weeks. And it has to be about my mind. It has to be about feeling whatever I'm feeling, journaling. It's all been about my mental and emotional health, especially this past month. And you know, you just said life happens. Life happens.
And I love what you said just a few minutes ago, Arlene. You touched on something that I love that you said. You said, I woke up this morning and I decided today was going to be a good day.
Exactly.
I was going to let today be a good day. We need to let more than one day be a good day. And I think that's what happens. I think we need to start waking up in the morning saying, no matter what, just waking up and saying, even if you might know something is going to be bad, wake up and say, I'm going to make today a good day. I'm going to make today the best day it can possibly be. Because if we don't start saying that, we're letting so many good things pass us by. Right.
And I've never, ever spoken about my weight loss in my interview. I did not want to focus on that. No. To me, the journey has all been about self-discovery and self-love. We've talked about that tonight. And dealing and rebounding from life's life cycle events that happen to all of us, life cycle events. And so for me, this, you know, my body is aging. That's okay. I'm going to bounce back. I will heal. And I will move on.
And that's you know what, that's the best we can all do. And I think that's like there's a message here, and I think you have it for the last 4 weeks now. All 11, I think, or 12 people that came back, all of us had a story where we went through things, or things happened that we had to navigate,
or we're still going
through, and we
I
all
still got bursitis. My elbows are killing me. I'm not gonna lie. It's not like I don't sit here every day and go, I don't let that lead my day.
Yeah.
I know they hurt. I know I need to take care of them, but I'm still functioning and doing the things I need to do because I know it's worth it.
Yeah.
Can I say one more thing?
Of course, Arlene.
I want to thank, I've been overwhelmed today, and my cup has been filled up with the birthday wishes that have been nonstop all day, nonstop. And I just want to read one, and I have also turned off Facebook quite a bit, but I was on today. So I just want to read this. Happy birthday, Arlene. May the kindness and love that is abundant in your heart radiate for all the world to benefit. May this year of yours bring you great unexpected joys and an abundant feeling of peace within. Love you always.
Oh,
Love
I
that.
just,
beautiful.
That really touched me today.
Oh, that's absolutely beautiful. Thank you for sharing that, Arlene. I think it's so true. I think we as humans search for the struggles, or we not crave. We see them before we see anything else.
Yeah.
We see all the negative before we see the positive. And yet we can be surrounded with so much positivity, but the one little piece of negativity comes in and it just, for some dumb reason, negates everything else. And we shouldn't
It's all
let it.
perspective.
It's all perspective.
Which is kind of where we want to take the chat tonight with all four of you, because the word of the week is loss.
Yep.
And I think one of the things we're going to talk about is how that word has so many
Meanings.
positive and negative meanings, right? So if you look at the way most of us are here for weight loss, right? Weight loss, positive, right? You know, well, most of us, it's like, ooh, yay, I lost weight this week. But then you think of a lost loved one, losing a loved one, and negative, right? And so it's funny how one word can have such power over how we're going to direct our journey. And we were talking about how life events, like this journey is life, which is exactly what it is. This journey you're doing is your life. And so when you're discovering what you're trying to do, realizing what you need to create for yourself, or the mindset you need to create for yourself, or the tools you need to have around you when you know certain events going to happen in your life and you're preparing yourself for those. For example, if you know that, for example, if you know that when you have a tough time at work, right? You've been through an event at work that was really hard to get through. After it's done, if you sit down and take fact of like, I went through this event at work. No, my job was changed. This is what I did when it happened. I did this. And because of this, I was able to do this. I got through it. I'm at my new job and I'm okay. Write that down and save it, because next time that life event happens, that career life event happens, you'll remember you wrote down last time what happened and what did you do last time to get through it. And you can use some of those same tools again on that next time.
It sounds like Nick is saying we should be journaling, basically, right? Doesn't it sound like?
Well, I'm not even saying you have to write it down,
or tracking,
but I'm saying even mentally noting in your head these events. I've been injured before. I had a memory this year, same as you, Arlene. 2 years ago, I hurt my foot exactly this week. 2 years ago, it was a body. We had done, I think it was a body or something.
I remember.
We had done a bunch of stuff, and I hurt my foot, and I was depressed about it. And I remember I was like, I got through it. I'm here now. I'm still able to do activity now. And so sometimes when I hurt myself again, I know this next pain might be the worst case scenario, but I've been through so many better case scenarios already. Why do I go dwell on the worst case scenario? No, I'll sit here and look at all the best case scenarios and try to get myself, and I'll use what I did the last 4 times this happened to get me through this moment now.
I honestly,
you're just so pensive.
I do, because you made me think of something. It's like, I honestly think what we should create maybe the one give yourself a list of the what if scenarios, you know? So make yourself a what if scenario list of
What if
this goes wrong, what scenario, like if it's a work issue, what's a good thing that happened to me at work before? And write that down now. And then what's a good thing that's happened to me on this life journey? Write that down. So that way, when you are going through life and you are experiencing these losses, you have somewhere to go back and say, oh, I remember this situation happened to me. And this is how I'm going to get out of it because I've experienced it. And don't try to remember the ones from like 2-3 years ago. Recent things that you're going through right now.
And we're not saying that this will always get through every moment. These are tools to help you cope through moments. These are things that we've used, and we're not experts. I'm not a doctor or anything. I'm just telling you, as a guy who's had issues his entire life with depression, with appreciating who himself. I never loved myself before. I had to learn these skills to get to where I'm at today. And it's not easy to traverse that forest of things to learn to get you to now. I used to get depressed for months at this time of year. For months, it was darkness. Even our first years on our YouTube channel, you can tell we would disappear for the last 2-3 months of the year because I post everything. So once Nick gets depressed, postings stop, and we would disappear for weeks. And people would be like, "Where's Nick? What are you guys doing?" We'd say, "Oh, we're just taking a break this week." It's because I had a mental breakdown. This year, it's happened once or twice, but it's been days. It's not been weeks because I have tools now. I've learned from those sessions what happened when those happened. First thing I have to do is talk to him. Tell him what's bothering me. Why is there something wrong? And so that he can talk with me and figure out what I need to fix. And then we make a change.
And it's not, I want to remove the word fix.
A different scenario.
Because sometimes there's nothing that needs to be fixed. Why do we all assume that we need to fix something? Like, I think a lot of times it's not a fix. Repair might be a good word.
Yeah.
I think it's just sometimes we just need to look at it differently.
So I actually want to throw it to you guys now.
Yes.
Like, I want to actually ask, because you guys have all discussed, losing. Carol, you've lost someone recently. Everybody's gone through different things. Arlene, you've lost your mobility with your ankle. What are things you can remember from this current situation you're in right now that you can maybe bring on to your next time, on your next situation that this happens in your life? And I'm not saying you'll have the answer, but is there something that you can think of that you've done this time? Like, oh, next time I remember, I'll do this. Carol, I don't know if you want to. Either one. I just.
I think grief is a tricky one, but because I've never lost anyone as close as I have now. But I think if I was to lose someone, so I'll lose and drink a sip of water. And I think I know that I'll have good days and I'll have bad days and I'll miss them forever. It's not like, and I have a meditation guide that and Arlene knows him. He's amazing. His name's Denzel O'Connell, and we go to him through Insight Timer.
Cool.
And he once talked about grief and like a ceramic, if you had a really nice ceramic vase and you dropped it and it broke and you put it back together because you really wanted to. It's like your heart when you lose someone. It'll crack and it'll break, but you can put it back together, and those cracks are always going to be there. They're going to always be there in the vase, the ceramic vase. It's always going to be there in your heart, but those cracks are memories that you loved someone. And so that's what I'm going to have to hold on to, is that whenever I'm going to lose someone, I know the cracks will heal, but they'll always remain there. But that's okay, because that just goes to show I loved someone so much. And that's a gift. But I think too, having friendships, having people to turn to, being able to leave messages in the middle of the night crying, and then waking up the next morning and saying, today's a new day, like Arlene said.
And you just said right there, a tool. Like you just said you have for next time, you just identified my community. And so there, right there, you identified a tool plus your self-meditation. The thing you learned about grief is two tools that you didn't have the first time, but now you put those in your toolbox. It doesn't mean next time grief happens is these tools are going to help you, but at least you know they're there so you can rely on them and try to use them to help you next time. And I think that's what I'm trying to get to, is that you can always take these tools. Yes, Arlene, you want to say something?
I was just going to add a little bit,
Sure.
if that's okay. I was just reflecting when Carol was talking about moving forward for the next time that grief happens. I was thinking back to when my mother died and what I learned from that. Now, that was many years ago, but what I learned was that my family and my friends were the most important thing in my life. And so that's still the case today. That me and my siblings became closer after my mom died. And we have stayed a very strong core. And we love and support each other always through everything. And that's what I've taken through. I lost my father when I was a teenager. And then, well, my mom died early as well. But grief, it's part of life. It's a life cycle. And we will all go through it. And José, je t'aime. T'es l'ange ce soir? I don't know. Anyways, we will all go through grief and loss. Water. And it's okay.
Exactly.
Because by feeling sad, we become more empathetic and more compassionate people towards others.
You know what and Ashley, I know you have your hand up, but I want to hear what I'd love to hear what you have to say about this, because I know
Ashley or Kevin,
I don't know who,
because the hands,
very true.
one of the two of them.
I want to just
Or
say
both.
one little thing quickly about feeling sad. In those moments of sadness.
Sorry, Jean-Luc, we can hardly hear you. Your mic is off.
Oh, yes. You turned
That
yourself
was
off.
weird. Thank you for letting me know. I don't know how I turned myself off. I'd rather turn myself on. Sorry, I had to. I'm sorry, I had to. But in those moments of sadness, there are glimpses of joy.
Oh, yeah.
And you need to find those glimpses of joy in those moments of sadness, because that moment of sadness is there. But think of everything else that was around you in that moment that brought joy, because there is joy within those moments of sadness. Go for it, guys.
So I had 3 losses starting in July: my nanny, my uncle, my cousin.
Wow.
And then Kevin's dad has not been doing well lately, and I didn't know how much more I'm gonna cry.
Okay.
How much
okay.
more I could handle. But knowing that I had my habits for the first time in my life, and to be able to move for people who can't move, or to be able to feel fresh air on my face, or cry to a friend and get everything out. COVID has made it so much harder because I never got to say goodbye to them. But I know they're with me, and that's what I focus on, and I do it for them, and I'm my grandmother's granddaughter, so I have her picture in front of my spin bike, and I just, I talk to her every day that way. So it just depends on, what you believe. I'm very spiritual, and I believe in that, but it's, not all days are good. Some days I burrito in bed and lay there and cry, and some days I get up and fully enjoy the day. But, it's just making those choices to keep focusing on your habits and behaviors, and your bounce back gets quicker.
That's
it. That's it
That
right
is
there.
exactly it.
And I love you said that you already know you had your habits this time to help you go through this. And again, you're
Those
learning.
are the tools.
Those are the tools we're talking about. Where when you started your first time, you walked into WW or anything you tried to do in terms of a wellness journey, the first time you walked in, remember what you knew then and what you know now. And I'm sure 99% of us will say, when things aren't as great, I still don't revert back 100% to what I was before I started this journey. There's always a piece of me that still holds on. Sometimes it's just a finger, and you know that something's coming to take it off, but you're still holding on because you know that that's what you want to do. And I love hearing all the tools and ways that you guys, you know, get through these scenarios. And I think I had heard through the grapevine about like the losses you had. Actually, I didn't know it was that. So I'm just so sorry. Sorry that came up. It's sorry to make you cry. That's not what we wanted to do at all.
No, it's okay. Crying is good. Crying,
yeah,
it's healing, right? It's not
Crying
Yeah.
is healing.
Yeah.
And I wanted to say, like, I love that you've made when you get on your bike, it's like an homage to your did you call her
Grandmother.
grandma, or I don't know what
My nanny.
nanny, to your nanny. And there's the joy that I said find. That's the joy.
Yeah.
Is now you have those special moments where you're dedicating that time with her, because she's still with you no matter which way you look at it. So even more so, I think now than in a way before. She's with you more now than she was before.
So thank you so much, all of you, for joining us. Kevin, Ashley, Carol, Arlene.
Thank you for being so raw and open with us tonight.
I do want to end. I know, so Kevin, I know you do a show with Sergio every week. So you want to just plug that and your stuff you do, your concerts are coming up, because then people want to know that.
Sure.
He's an okay artist.
So yeah, Sergio kind of made me get into this talk show with him, and he's obviously amazing at what he does, and I'm trying to ride his coattails. And you can find it on Facebook, and it's called I Am Enough, and that's my hoodie there. And Monday nights at 7:00, and usually Monday nights at 7:00, and every Monday night we interview someone, and then Sergio and I pick a topic and we just chat about it. And
well, we can hint that Sergio and Agnes are on our list. They're on our early list for next year, so they're coming. They're going to join you, and they're going to be round two. They're going to be second graduating class.
Awesome.
And then also, where can people find you?
Lost your
again,
mic.
Jean-Luc. Also,
It keeps
somebody.
turning off on me. So where can people find your concert and when you're playing, Kevin?
I go by Woody Woodburn.
Or Woody, I was going to
You
say.
can see on Carol's shirt there. You can find me on Facebook, or my just as Woody Woodburn, or my website is woodywoodburn.ca, and my music is on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, anywhere you get your music.
Awesome.
Awesome.
He's a fantastic artist. Actually, he sang last time he was here. Maybe he'll sing us out tonight. I don't know. We've kind of putting him on the spot. But if he's willing to, we'd be really cool with that. We'll let you know. But if you want to grab your guitar, Kevin.
Yes, we're going to do some announcements, and then we'll come back.
And then we'd love to have you sing us out tonight.
Thanks all four of you for being here today. So Arlene, Carol, Ashley, Kevin, and Kevin, we'll bring you guys back on screen in a bit. We'll just do our announcements. We'll bring you right back. But again, thank you so much for joining us. Thanks for doing the interviews originally. The interviews out, the second interview, and then this again.
And thank you for just being you. Thank you for being present out there in the community and always being willing to talk and be so open. Because the more open you are about your journey,
Your mic.
It's happening again.
So he's gonna grab another mic pack instead. So we'll turn that on instead to see if we can fix that. Number 4. Okay. Turn it on, and we'll be right back. So I will start doing the announcements while he's fixing his mic. So we were supposed to launch our P3 website tonight, but it's not 100% ready, but I will show you guys a quick sneak peek. So for those of you wondering what this is our retreat coming up in January 7th, 8th, and 9th. The tickets are going on sale soon. So I'm just going to show you a quick sneak peek of what the website looks like. And here we go. So this is the website. It's all fancy. You guys see the screen? Yes. Okay, cool. So this is what the website looks like. These are the events. There's a lot of stuff happening that weekend, as you guys can see.
Can you hear me now? I don't know if they can hear me or not.
Yes, we can hear you.
Awesome.
Thank you, Rosie.
Okay, so that's the P3. So it's coming soon. So you'll be able to buy your tickets soon. We're actually going to.
We have a logo.
Yeah, we have a logo and everything now. So
We have a logo. Who would have thought?
So that's going to go live soon. It was supposed to be tonight, but we're still ironing out a few things. We don't want to send it out until it's 100% working correctly. So you guys will be hearing it on our group tonight, possibly, or tomorrow morning. It'll go live. We also have a lot of stuff coming up in the next few weeks, and also an announcement of other guests. So we have, first of all, we finished making volume 4.
Volume
Five.
Volume 5 of the Body Step. Volume 5 is complete. We're going to be filming the tutorial very soon, which is so exciting. That'll be coming out in January as well, which is amazing. Don't forget, on Friday this week, a body holiday party.
Christmas party. Woo-hoo. Remember that if you're not able to join in person, you can still buy a $10 ticket to join the Zoom room. The actual the proceeds from the Zoom sale will actually also go to $1 Million Smile, and you'll get to join us because we'll be running the Zoom that night. And
we're running Zoom, and we're going to do like a scavenger hunt, and we're going to have so much fun with the people in Zoom. So it will be a lot of fun, and we'll make sure you meet everybody, that as many people as you can that's in the room.
So we actually brought Laura on screen with us because we started our Epicure fundraiser. So for those of you who haven't been here, we actually have a fundraiser happening right now.
Yes.
And so Laura, you want to talk a bit about yourself and Epicure for a few seconds?
Sure, I'd love to. Thank you. Hi, everyone. Nice to see you tonight. So I wanted to thank Jean-Luc and Nick and Antonetta for partnering with me on this really exciting fundraiser for $1 Million Smiles. And Jerry's down in Arizona right now. She's going to be helping with the American donations going to the food bank. So for those of you that aren't familiar with Epicure, we're a Canadian-based company. We're a healthy food distributor. And we're now available in the States as well. So we've been around for 25 years in Canada, but only 2 years in the States. So if you're not familiar with the brand, that might be why. And our products have no preservatives or fillers, no chemicals. They're all gluten-free. We have vegan, vegetarian, kosher, you name it, we offer it. And so it really aligns well with our healthy journeys, our healthy eating journeys. And I love being a good food ambassador. It just really helps me stay on track. And I can't say enough good things about our products.
Oh, that's awesome.
So what's happening is that if you love Epicure Red, you want to try the products, if you make an order through Laura, the proceeds from the extra food, the food host gifts,
that we would be receiving, we're actually donating to a local food bank here in North York.
And Jerry's going to donate to one in Arizona.
All the host gifts from the US will go to a food bank in Arizona. And then on top of that, Laura's offered to donate all of her commission to $1 Million Smiles.
So the more you buy, the more we get to donate to $1 Million Smiles to help build playgrounds for children that children with why can't I think of autoimmune diseases? Or they can't have to be alone because they could get hurt if they're with other children. So it's a good cause, and we want to help build those 3 houses. We're all helping Antonetta and Synergy Domenico realize this dream of building these 3 houses, and we'll be there building them.
Yeah,
with my whatever tool they give in my hand that day, because I won't know which one it is anyways. And so we're so excited to work with you on this, Laura. And so if anybody's looking for information, how can they find it? Can they look for you?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have been posting the links in your group, and I'm also happy if people want a friend request me or send me a message directly. I'm happy to help. I can look up any nutritional information or ingredients if you have food allergies. We are sodium conscious and low sodium, but I can look up exact amounts if that's important to you. And also, don't forget that because we ship anywhere in Canada and the US right now, you could send Epicure as a gift as well.
Exactly. Love that idea. I never even thought about that.
Figuring out how to do that, I'm happy to help. So thanks again. We've got 10 orders so far.
Woo-hoo! And
7
you know what?
in Canada and 3 in the States. Not that we're competing, but if we're really competitive, Canada's winning.
But if anybody out there, even if you don't want to buy it, but you know you have friends that love Epicure, let them know. Tell people. Like this is not just this group. Tell people out there that they love Epicure to help order, and because again, we're trying to help and raise money for a good cause. So
and then also bring money to a food bank who can always food to a food bank.
That's right. And just one more quick thing, we do have a shipping discount right now for orders over $60. Only until November 30th. So if you're like me and you don't want to pay full shipping on what you order online, get your order in before the 30th, and you'll qualify for the shipping discount if it's more than $60.
Awesome.
Thank you so much, Laura.
Thank you, Laura. So a few more announcements. So next week our show will be live from on location. So we're trying. We will let the cat out of the bag now.
Jean-Luc, Nick, and Antonetta and Lizette will be in Mexico next Sunday.
So we're flying to Mexico.
We are flying to Mexico
this upcoming Sunday.
Yes.
And we will be landing during the day. And so we should hopefully be at our resort.
That Zoom works.
And Zoom works. then we will be on. If it doesn't, then Leslie Clowder, who's our guest next week, is already aware.
She's already aware
that she'll be rescheduled to a later date.
Yeah.
But what we're trying to do, we would love to be live in our flip flops and tank top, in Mexico, and talk to you guys next week about where we're going, because that's where we're going with everybody.
We're going to the resort that we will be going to in February. We're actually going to check it out just to give you guys a heads up, know where things are, get things organized for that whole week in February. So.
Exactly. So I love it. So we're doing that next week. Then on December 12th, we have Hetty and Bill Hook coming in to be interviewed.
And then on December 18th, we've got a new, December 18th, we've got a new episode of Cook What You've Got, where Jean-Luc and Nick will be cooking live in our kitchen. We also have our lovely hosts, Rosie, our assistant, Rosie and Kim, who will be here in the kitchen live, giving you the play-by-play as we're cooking stuff up in the kitchen.
And then on December 19th, we will have Antoinette and Kieran guesting with us on our show. And then
our very first guests on January 2nd, 2022 are Casey and Joe. Casey and Joe from Windsor. Yeah, they will
be our first guests.
Definitely. We're looking forward to speaking to them on their journey and how they've been coming back. And so it'll be really, really fun. Can't wait.
And then the P3 retreat,
January 7th, 8th, and 9th.
So someone in chat was asking, yes, the information about buying tickets will be on the website once it's all launched. So just look for posts in our group or on my personal profile or on Instagram. The information will come up and we'll have everything ready for you guys to start registering. We can't wait. We have so much good things ready for the retreat that it's going to be a fun-filled weekend.
Definitely will be. And we are going to head out with an amazing artist who we are so privileged to not only know, but call a friend. And thank you so much for letting us put you on the spot, Kevin. I should have warned you ahead of time, but I know you'll bang it out of the park. So everybody, some music stylings by our one and only Woody Woodburn.
Thank you. It's a new song of mine. Some of you might have heard it, but it's not released yet. And we just finished it in the studio, and I did receive a Factor grant for this song, which was unbelievable, which is a government, Canadian government music grant. So it's called Am I Enough? If you could see life in the blink of an eye, would you see it more for than it is to sight? Life, is it more than meets the eye? Is it deeper than we could ever realize? How could I never think that I should cry? What did I think I would do before I died? Was anyone ever really on my side? Did what I think ever coincide? Am I? Oh, am I? Am I? Oh, am I enough? Am I enough? If I could see life through my grandmother's eyes, would I know that there's peace in love if we all try? When death becomes certain and time is not on your side, did life have a purpose and did you go for a ride? Am I? Oh, am I? Am I? Oh, am I enough? Am I enough? Oh, thoughts in our minds. Am I? Oh, am I? Am I? Oh, am I? Am I enough? I am enough. Thanks, guys.
So much.
I love that song. That song is just, it could not have ended the night any better. And guess what, guys? The answer to that question is yes.
Yes.
The answer to
For
that
all of
question
you.
is yes.
If you ask that question, the answer is yes.
Ask yourself that question and answer it yes.
So thank you so much
Thank
for
you
joining
so much
us
for being
tonight.
here tonight.
And we will end on that note. We'll show our usual end of show thing, but we'll see you right back in Zoom. And everybody else, have a great night.
Have a good night,
We'll
Facebook.
see you
Bye,
next week.
TikTok. Bye,
Hopefully.
Instagram.
Hopefully next week. We'll
Fingers
try.
crossed. Live from Mexico. Woo, woo.
We'll
I'll have
try.
a cocktail in my hand.
Yeah, we'll try.
Maybe two.
2 cocktails?
Maybe.
Okay, maybe 2 cocktails.
Maybe.
I agree with that. So let's get the show. Bye, everybody. Have a good night.
Good night.
Woo-hoo.